"Hi, I'm Short Mike and you will erase the movie, Tough Guy." A huge jock is tired of living with his mother and decides to go to Thailand to find the love of his life, a very interesting plot, so watch to the end. The first shots of the film begin with the main character, Dennis, washing his face and looking at his reflection in the mirror. Then he goes out and goes back to sit at the table where he had a date with a girl from the hall where he is engaged. Although Dennis ordered the dish, he did not touch it and the girl asks why he does not eat. Dennis says he's allergic to shrimp. The shy man can't explain why he ordered this dish. There is some tension in the dialogist from the very beginning. During the conversation, she says that she works in a beauty salon, and the jock in response is a professional bodybuilder. That is, he lifts weights in the gym, participating in competitions to show his muscles. The girl asks if this business brings income, to which the jock says no, and therefore Denise got a part-time job, a job as a security guard in a pub. After these words, her attitude towards the guy definitely did not get better. She runs into a jock for openly staring at her breasts, but the main character was always looking at the girl's pendant. In the next frame, the hero is sitting in the car disappointed with an unsuccessful date. He drives home and carefully sneaks into his room so that his mother does not wake up. But he does not succeed, because his mother did not sleep. She is sitting in the kitchen and waiting for her son to arrive from his event. She asks her son where he was, but in response Dennis lies and says that he went to the movies with a friend. He says that he wants to sleep, but the mother needs to release her ardor on her son, under the pretext that she was worried about him. Nevertheless, the hero manages to solve everything peacefully without a scandal. In the morning, Dennis takes a shower, but at that moment his mom comes to him and sits on the toilet, clearly demonstrating her opinion about him and her attitude to his personal life, but Dennis doesn't say anything. The jock makes himself breakfast with oatmeal and eggs and, together with his mother, prepares for a planned meeting with relatives. Having already left the house and got into the car, the mother is interested in whether the guy closed the door of the house, to which he did not argue and went to check it again. Sitting already at a family dinner, their uncle introduces them and says affectionate words about his beloved. He says that he brought such a miracle from Thailand. The hero is happy for them, but white envy burns in his soul. Mother, on the contrary, does not really like all this. With disapproval, she looks at the new bride and at their uncle who says these favors to her. In the evening, while washing, the mother tells her son that this pair will not be enough for a long time. The next day, Dennis is swimming with his friend, although the training gives him joy, that dark thoughts are still spinning in his head. And besides that, the same girl from the date passed by without even saying hello, which hurt the guy a little. Uncle asks the jock to help him pull out the weeds, and Dennis helps him in this. Uncle says quid pro quo gives him tourist brochures about Thailand in return. Dennis also wants to find his beloved, so he also lights up with the desire to go there and begins to prepare. At home, he sits down and Googles information about the hotel and Thailand itself. Then he decides to go to the gym, finds the right girl and tells her biased that she is just not his type, and that they are breaking up. But she doesn't seem to care about his words at all. Denise stands with her friend and looks at herself in the mirror with bright joy, practicing long practiced poses. When he comes home, the guy lies to his mom at dinner that he has competitions in Germany and that he will go soon. The mother is taken by psychos and she does not finish her dinner and just leaves, showing her grievances. In the morning, Dennis prepares breakfast for two. After eating himself, he knocks on his mother's room, but she does not open it. But that doesn't stop Dennis. He gathers his things and wants to say goodbye, but she wrapped in a blanket says goodbye. He puts on his jacket and goes on a journey slamming the door. Soon he is already traveling in a taxi in Thailand, which will be taken by a lot of people after Denmark. The girls are right hung up on the guy. When checking into the hotel, they do not ask if he is alone and if there will be another girl, but Dennis said that he is alone and there will be no one else. Having gone up to the room, Dennis, after looking around, goes out on the balcony and looks at such a beautiful country. Soon he goes to a local restaurant, where he is looking for a man named Scott, whom his uncle advised him to. It was this Scott who introduced his uncle to his wife here. The owner of the establishment asks Dennis what kind of girls he likes, but he didn't say anything specific, and they told him to come this evening and they would already find a girl for him. Driving with a taxi driver, he offered Dennis to stop by the party, to which the guy agrees. Dennis is measured horizontally and vertically with a ruler to sew a jacket for the evening. A cool tailor immediately offers a second thing with a discount, but Dennis says that he only needs one thing, which he raises the price by 1,000 baht, trying to rip off as much as possible from an inexperienced tourist. Arriving at the hotel, Dennis immediately tries to call his mom. But she doesn't answer and he just leaves a message after the beep. They bring him an already sewn jacket, he tries it on, puts on shorts and goes to the same restaurant for the girl. Walking through the streets, he is accosted by many women who are ready to earn naturists, but he pushes them away. Cattle and his friends are already waiting for him in the restaurant. Dennis examines the visitors and sees that there are a lot of foreigners here, and almost everyone has picked up a local girl. Finally, his chosen one was brought to the guy. He does not behave very confidently from the very beginning, but for that she has professionalism. They chatted a little, she admires his muscles and asks to show what he says maybe. But he blushes and had to say that he needed to go to the bathroom. But the Thai woman does not just sit still, but goes along with Dennis, examines him and helps him wipe his place with wet solfets, to which Dennis is even more embarrassed, because before that he had no contact with women. They go to the hotel and at the registration desk he asks to record the girl's visit to his account. After going up to the room, the girl went to the shower, and the guy nervously walks around the Comanche. After getting out of the shower, the girl immediately indicates the payment for the evening and the night with the guy, which is inconvenient for the guy and he will clarify whether she will stay overnight. They sit down on the bed and the girl kneels down and unbuttons the guy's shorts. But almost getting to the point, Dennis suggests they talk to find out more about her. She sits down, they talk a little and she climbs up to him again. And then he realizes that he can't and insists that the girl leave. The girl doesn't quite understand why, but what remains to be done. The client goes to change clothes, then the guy pays for the arrival. The man calls his mother again, but again there is no answer. In the morning, the jock goes to the local gym, where he inspects the simulators. He asks one of the athletes, where you can get extra pancakes for the bench press. While he was broadcasting pancakes, one sportsman recognized him and went to show Dennis's scrapbook at competitions. Dennis smiled and says it was so long ago. After working out, the guys sit together and the sportsman offers Dennis to meet with friends for dinner in the evening. But the jock has other plans. He comes to Restornen again, where a new girl is brought to him again. But surprisingly, everything happens exactly the same as with the last one. The girl also touches the muscles of the pitching and asks them to show. To which the guy already answers with more confidence no. The highlight of the evening was the performance on stage of one girl performing a beautiful song. Everyone started singing along. Dennis looked at everyone and realized that he had nothing to do here and he decided to leave. Again, passing through the streets, girls who wanted to earn money clung to him, but he was not up to them. He sat down on a bench to spend a little time in his thoughts and then decided to go to a friend whom he met in the hall. Dennis is more comfortable being between his own, who share his interests. The owner of the gym was sitting opposite him and he started a diet with her. She asks him where he comes from, he says nothing too much from Denmark. Dennis also asks if she likes bodybuilding, to which she replies that this is the hall of her ex-husband who died 5 years ago. After dinner, the guys leave on their mopeds, only Toya and Dennis are left alone. They get home by local transport and Toy is interested in whether he knows how to drive a moped. In the morning, they ride mopeds around Thailand looking at local attractions and not forgetting to stop by and make a devouring to a monk. In the end, they arrived at the beach, where Toya decided to swim. Coming out of the water, they sit together on the sand. She suggests that he arrange a picnic at this place somehow. He regards this as a sign and reaches out to kiss her, but the girl does not react the way he thought, pushing him away. He apologizes and says he should leave. He goes to the parking lot with a moped, tries to start it, but it won't start. She came, too, tried it and said that they would leave it here and take it away tomorrow. In the meantime, they get on one and drive through the evening city. When the time comes to disperse, she tells him that in Thailand it is not customary to kiss on the street and that it is done by Domei immediately calls him to her house for dinner. When Taya arrives, she asks if she can cook a meal, but he comes up and kisses her. But even here Dennis can't overcome the shyness completely. When they are sitting on the bed, the girl wants to kiss him again, but Dennis says he can't and apologizes and leaves. Walking through Thailand at night, the man stops, realizes that he was stupid and decides to return. He knocks on the door again, they sit down on the bed again, and begin to talk heart to heart. Dennis admits that he likes her, in response he gets that she likes him too. He asks if he can stay and they fall asleep together in an embrace. In the next scene, Dennis arrived back to his homeland and rides in a taxi. He comes home and finds his mother in the kitchen. His mother is glad to see him and sitting at the table asks him how the competitions went. Dennis has to invent and he says that he took 6th place, so he did not receive a prize. She notices that he is a little tanned. Dennis is sitting on the bed and looking at Toy's photo. The hero makes an agreement and goes to inspect the apartment for Toy. At night, lying in bed, he cannot sleep and decides to go and tell his mother everything. Going to her, he says he needs to tell her something, although he is ashamed, but he admits that after talking to his uncle, he said that he could also go and find a girl in Thailand, which he did. And the fact that he lied about Germany. He says that he still met a girl named Toy there. But his mother, in anger, tells him to get out of her room. In the morning, Dennis goes to the kitchen, but his mother is already sitting at the table, going to talk about yesterday. She asks about the girl who interested him, but Dennis says that there is nothing much to tell. Then she accuses him of lying to her and thereby shows that he does not love her. The mother says that she is categorically against their relationship. And he says to promise her that he will leave her today. Dennis, accustomed to submit to pressure from his mother, promises this. A little later, a girl arrives in his city and he goes to meet her happy and with a bouquet of flowers. He brings her to the apartment he rented for her, which his mother knew nothing about. Sitting in the apartment, Dennis gives the girl a pendant around her neck. And then he says that his mother has heart problems and that he should look after her. She says that there is food in the refrigerator, and he will come to her in the evening. But as you have already understood, this is also a lie. At night Dennis returns to her. Sutra they go to the mall for shopping that. It so happened that Dennis's mother was walking towards them. Dennis notices this and turns into the store so that his mother would not see them. But it doesn't work and the mother notices her son in the underwear store. She notices that someone is talking to her son. The mother immediately becomes clear, but Dennis begins to lie that this girl is the sister of her uncle's wife. However, the mother is not stupid and asks about her mother-in-law's health. To which Taya can't say anything and Dennis has no choice but to take the girl away to the angry screams of his mother. In the car, the guy doesn't know what to do. He drives her to the apartment, drops her off and goes home to talk to his mom and solve this problem once and for all. The mother is sitting in the kitchen, clutching a towel in her hands, as she injured herself when she turned Dennis's room upside down. A man seeing his dream turned upside down sits on the bed in sadness. A tear even appeared on his face from the way his mother behaves. Then, sitting with her mother in the kitchen, she asks him about Toya, but refuses to talk. His mother accuses him and says that he is the same as his father, but Dennis did not know him. The guy says that the girl will not go anywhere, but he will go himself. After that, his mother no longer runs over him like that and tries to show a sense of guilt and says that she will be left alone, but he has firmly decided. He puts all his belongings and trophies in boxes, inspects for the last time his room in which he lived half his life. Dennis takes out the boxes in the car. He had already gone for that one before. She was sitting and waiting for him in the car. Then Dennis goes to say goodbye to his mother. She says that he would not leave, but the boy stands his ground. A loaded car takes this happy couple to another new conscious life. The hero has finally matured. The camera shows an overhead view of them leaving and that's where the movie ends.